Tyrese, with kind of a little bit of Lakers talk, more so on the coaching side of it. We can get
Mhm.
more into like the LeBron and AD and all that stuff, and Russell Westbrook for sure. Probably in another stream at another time this week. Um, and there's two stories that we can talk about here. Obviously, the first story being that the Lakers executive links Toronto Raptors head coach Nick Nurse to LA. There's a lot of
Yeah.
coaches that are apparently rumored to be part of the Lakers organization. Quinn Snyder of the Utah Jazz is one of them. Doc Rivers, obviously, his name is always in this coaching carousel. And then Nick Nurse, which is another one. I really doubt the Nick Nurse one, but who knows?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but if you had to pick those three, which of those coaches is most likely to go be a head coach for the LA Lakers? Which head coach could go to LA and really help this team get back to its winning ways?
What were the options again?
You have Quinn Snyder from the Utah Jazz, you have Doc
Mm-hmm.
Rivers from the 76ers, and then you have Nick
Sixers.
Nurse from the Raptors.
Um, Probably Nick Nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Nick Nurse. Just because, I mean, look what the Raptors did, man. They turned their season around. Like, I think they won what 48 games.
48 games, I believe. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, so they
48
can win.
games.
They could potentially win. No, 49. Damn, they're 50. But still, it's really good. Yeah, Nick Nurse would be the guy. I would pay him all the money he wants if he would come over to if he came to the Lakers. If I was Genie Buzz, so he
I,
seems like the guy. If I were in his shoes and deciding, I would pick him.
I think my concern, if I was if I was Nick Nurse, is just, how is the roster going to handle me? Because in another story that we have here uh, from another report is that Laker players reportedly ignored team coaches, and the Lakers were a mess from essentially the beginning of the season, but we're just starting to understand how the mess was. This is, of course, a story from the Los Angeles Times. They did a deep dive into
Yeah,
the Lakers' failure season and included a great number of details surrounding a lack of harmony behind the scenes. One deal stood out how the Lakers apparently responded to Coach Vogel. Opposing scouts observed Laker players ignoring coaches' instructions, according to Willicke and Turner. The report does not make it clear how frequent this occurred, but it sounded like as if it took place more than once. On the other hand, this speaks poorly of the players. Clearly, they did not have answers as the team struggled virtually all year long. Some of the players disjointedly played. Certainly could have been down to players thinking that they know what's best when they really didn't. However, it doesn't reflect on Coach Frank Vogel. He struggled to forge relationships with Russell Westbrook, and it's clear that some players were not fans of his either. Many will point to his
I
fundamentally
was
flawed
right all
roster,
along.
which is fair, but he did not make the most of what he had. The Lakers are likely to make a coaching change. That we all know that stuff, and so that's also a report that's been out there as well, as that they didn't really
Mm-hmm.
respect the coaching staff, and I I can't tell you how much it really pains when the players don't respect your coaching staff. It makes the season, it makes everything just so much awkward, and really just makes it tumultuous. Like you can't even, especially with Frank Vogel and the late. We're talking about the L.A. Lakers. We're not talking about the Toronto, the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're not talking about the these other teams in No Man or Nova Scotia, Chattanooga. Like
Yeah,
we're talking about like the Lakers,
yeah.
which are like
Prime time. Yeah,
prime time. So
yeah.
you're going to get scrutinized even more as a coach and as a player for playing for this team. And I don't know, Tyrese. I think of all the coaches. I think I would go Nick Nurse number one. I would go Quinn Snyder
Mhm.
number two, and then I would go Doc Rivers number three. Um, the only thing with Doc Rivers is I think he's still milking that championship from '08.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's milking that ring still a little bit too tough, man. Like I feel like I don't know. He seems older than what he is, but he's only like what 55 or something like that.
Yeah.
Seems like he's like 70. I think it's like his posture or something. Like, but but yeah, I would go with the same order. I would go with Nick, and then I would go with Quinn, and then I would go with Doc Rivers for third.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, I mean, it depends if they want to take the job, man. It comes with a lot of pressures
Yeah.
because you're not dealing just with another superstar like who, okay, yeah, do this. Like you're working for LeBron James, so
That's the other
it's a
thing
little
too.
different.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so
yeah. I mean, the
yeah, it's kind of like if they're willing to take that, and it would have to probably be enough money to, heal their pains because there's going to be some pains. So I don't know. I think potentially, I don't know. It could be, but then again, it could be someone who I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, apparently, Nick Nurse is
I
reportedly
don't think he's
on
going to
on the
get out of
Clutch staff.
Toronto though.
He's on the Clutch.
I
He's in the Clutch books, man. He's part of Clutch. He's
He's
part of
part of Clutch Sports.
he's part of the Clutch.
He's with Rich Paul
Yep.
on what, a board or something, or
He's
what?
he's
Or
represented. He's his agent.
oh yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, he's going to L.A. Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, he's going to L.A. I never knew that.
Yeah. I mean, again, it depends on like what the contract. I'm not sure what Nick's contract is. I mean, they could do the same situation where they trade. Like I
If
think
he if
the Clippers
if
traded him.
he's with any type of association with Clutch, how you're saying, then he's gone. He's going
I don't
because
know, man.
this is his second best chance of winning it. Who the hell is going to Toronto? Like no one's going up there to Toronto on a superstar type level besides Kawhi Leonard who got traded there. Like they're not getting any type of superstar. They homegrown all their players, from Fred to OG. Like these guys are good, but they're not going to win no title. Like they're not going to be no Eastern Conference Spurs. Like they're not.
Yeah.
There's no Tatum on that team. Like there's no, like they're a good solid team, but they're not going to win a title. I think Nick Nurse. I think he could potentially be the next best coach in the league since probably Pop. If he goes to the Lakers and he wins a championship there too, like he's on a trajectory for sure. If he can win like 2 rings out here, because that would put him at 3. I think they would. Yeah, now that you say that, I think Nick's making more sense to come out this way and leaving Toronto.
Yeah. I think this is just things that are been out in the media. I think there's a lot of
Oh no, they're real
or sorry.
rumblings. There's those are real rumblings because they're talking so much about the fault and Russell Westbrook saying all types of different stuff to the LA Times,
Yeah.
according to the LA Times. So no, it's real. It's real, man. So
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I would say if I was a Nick Nurse is that I need control of the roster building and I need control of like how this team is played because and that's the thing that is really going to be
nah, he's
the
not.
big
Did you
thing.
just say control? There is no control when you're with LeBron.
Well, that's what I'm
There
saying.
is.
Like there's that. I think LeBron has to release at least a little bit of that control if he wants to win another champion. If that's the goal, if the goal is to win another championship. Obviously, I think the main two things are get the scoring title, play with Bronny, and win a championship. I mean, if winning a championship is still a
Play with
priority,
Bronny. I think Bronny's like 6 years down the line. I don't think LeBron's retiring anytime soon, probably until like, you know. Um yeah, I think he's gonna try to win a few more chips. Bronny's like people think, oh, it's coming up like next year or 2 years. Like, nah, it's more like 5 years out, I think personally. And I hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
I mean, it's going to be 2 years because we know that LeBron is the mastermind
Yeah,
of the
I
league.
understand that. I just think he's gonna try to play with one more good, great player like Steph, like he's kind of floated around in KD.
Yeah,
Then play with his son, but that's like a few years. I think that's
trade
like
AD for Steph Curry.
uh, I mean it could, but then again, it would kind of be maybe Clay for AD if anything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see it happening because I think that I think Steph is a Golden State Warrior for lifer. I don't think he's going to be a. I don't think he's going to move unless like the organization decides to move him. I think that's
Yeah, I
kind of
agree. I think Clay's more out of there if anything than Steph. I think the only place he could really fit is the Lakers,
yeah.
and that's because of his dad.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
but who knows?
yeah. I do agree with you though. I think like out of all the players, I think Nick Nurse makes or all the coaches, Nick Nurse makes the most sense. I cannot see it being anybody else really. I mean, I could see maybe, maybe just Quinn Snyder, just because of the way that the Utah Jazz have kind of been self imploding. From the stories about like Donovan Mitchell only making 2 passes to Rudy Gobert, averaging 2 passes a game to Rudy Gobert. I think there's a divorce happening in Salt Lake, and I think that Quinn Snyder is going to be a casualty of that divorce.
You think so? I think I don't think there's going to be a divorce with Nick. I mean, not with Nick Nurse. Quinn Snyder. I think it's going to be a divorce with either Rudy Gobert or other pieces, but I think Donovan Mitchell's there to stay. And Quinn Snyder, I think they're going to move Rudy, um, just because there's no other coach really who would probably want to come to Utah,
Yeah.
and I think he kind of fits their scheme. I mean, they've been close. It just I think Rudy, they got to get rid of Rudy, man. Like he's a good player, like defensive player, but his style of play is just not in the game anymore. Like they need another shot creator.
Mm.
So, um, yeah, but I think he's gonna stay there, and I think Nick Nurse would have to probably be hella pressure just because he has so much um, with the Raptors, like with OG, and he's developed these guys want to chip with him. It's kind of more um, personal.
Yeah.
So it would have to be substantial. Like it would have to be a big move of someone going to the Lakers, dude. Like other than AD, because AD's like on that injury prone kind of stride right now. Is Karl Anthony Towns a free agent?
No, he's. I think he signed his new contract like a year ago. I think two
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
so but yeah, if he was a free agent, like if he signed to the Lakers, yeah, he would
Mm.
probably go. But it would have to be like a monster type deal, like someone who's
Mm.
healthy and like you know. But I don't think he would probably leave the Raptors for them, just because you know LeBron likes a lot of older guys, and Nick likes younger kids who can play. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know, but
Mm.
and two, I don't know if LeBron would be able to really control Nick
Yeah.
because you know
I don't
he's
think so
won
either.
before. Yeah, you know, and I seen that a little bit with I think I forgot if it was Kyle Lowry or Pascal, but he wanted to play or he yelled at him and like snapped all in his ear, like "Wake up!" Like he's a different type of coach, you
Yeah.
know. And I don't think LeBron would like. Then again, the strong egos, man. Remember I told you with Russell going there how this shit was going to plan out, and now look, like it's happening. It blew up. Same
Yeah.
with the Nets.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Which is
it
why
all
there's
has
the
to
rumors
align.
of yeah. I mean, there's rumors of Russell Westbrook and John Wall trade. I think that's probably
Yeah, John Wall's done though, man. Like they're not going anywhere. Okay, let's just say if they got John Wall, right? Okay, boom, boom. They swap for Russ. They're not going any further, man. Like, yeah, they might get into the plane or get to AC, but they're not winning no chip. Just because of his style of play. Like that style of play doesn't work. Like you need shooters spreading the floor like the Bucks, the Suns, like you know,
well,
three guys scoring isn't gonna work. You need 1 through 8.
their shooters are all bricks. They like building
They're all
houses.
bricks. If you
They
got a
like
one
building
through eight,
houses.
yeah, if you got a 1 through 18, man, like that's deep, like the Suns. You know, what's the other teams?
Yeah.
Phoenix, and the what's the other damn team? The Bucks. Then you're good. But those are only two teams that have that.
Yeah.
So all the others are just hoping and praying.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I mean, we'll see what happens. I think that this is going to be a very interesting summer for the LA Lakers. Again, they basically gave up their
I
future.
wouldn't be shocked if LeBron leaves. I wouldn't be shocked if he went back to Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be a trade because he's still
Oh
under
yeah, for
contract.
sure would be a trade. I mean, they have the pieces, Jared Allen. They have some young guys. You know, Kevin. They would probably keep Kevin Love, but I don't know, man. Like his relationship with Kevin Love and like the whole organization of the Cavs is still heartfelt, even like in the All Star break. You know, you can see it. Like I just don't get that with him in LA. Like him coming out here was just kind of like more of a legacy thing. I feel like
Yeah,
but his heart's really in Cleveland. And I think with the coaching style of the new head coach they have, yeah, he's experienced, but so was Tyronn Lue. You know, he didn't have any coaching experience, and then he won it all. So, you know, hey, don't rule that out.
yeah. I mean, we'll find out in the near future, like what it entails for all these players. Really what it entails
Yeah,
for the Lakers, and what their head coaching situation is going to be. All I know is that this is going to be a really big shakeup
very
for
big. Yeah.
for the for the LA Lakers coming into the near future. But with that being said, I think we're going to cut it there. Obviously.